The noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, the podcast.
Well, it is a solo noon hour of Madness and Mayhem. I am Peaches. Happy Monday, November 10th, 2025. Victor is not here. Hopefully he's doing okay. Maddie, our marketing assistant from down the hall, she's not here today. It's going to be a very quiet Monday from what it seems like, which is why I heavily push that, hey, maybe we should have 3-day weekends, you know? Have a 4-day work week. I would love to see somebody's defense for a Monday through Friday schedule that Henry Ford came up with back in the 1920s, 1940s, Henry Ford work week idea. I know it was the 5-day work week. Yeah, he introduced it 5 days, 40 hours, 1926. 100 years ago, he came up with this, and we're still doing it. He believed that this would increase productivity by making workers more refreshed and would also boost the economy by giving employees more leisure time to spend money, especially on cars. Like, this was a break back then. The weekend was all that you needed back then because people were getting overworked big time. And now we're kind of going back towards like, hey, it's not necessarily 9 to 5 anymore. Think more so like 8 to 6, you know? I wouldn't mind working 8 to 6 if it was 4 days a week. You would get a 3-day weekend. So that way, when like a concert lands on a Saturday and you have to travel 3 hours to Salt Lake City, spend the night in a hotel or Airbnb, and then drive back 3 hours, it takes a toll on you. Might take a toll on your car too. I was working for the most part. So was Maddie. She got a 3-day weekend because she had something else planned for today, but that fell through. So I think she's just taking the day off. Shout out to Maddie. She's awesome, our marketing assistant. She crowd surfed for the first time at the Set It Off show. She was very excited for Set It Off to perform Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. And so she crowd surfed for the first time thanks to a pair of listeners. They helped her out. They lifted her into the air. I saw her from the back go flying across. Luckily, she was lifted pretty easily. She got to the security part, got to the barricade, and they put her back into the pit. Totally fine. I was very worried that she was going to get dropped, and yeah, it was going to be us having to take her to potentially the emergency room if she like shattered her knee or hurt her spine in any way, shape, or form. But she's a tough gal. If that would have happened, she probably would have walked it off, knowing her. But overall, it was a great weekend. I just wish we had today off, you know, work Tuesday through Friday, have Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. So that way, when you get back home on Sunday, you can have Monday to the day to clean, the day to take care of whatever you need to take care of. You know, I've had this tray of like tri-tip that was in my fridge because I had no meal prep containers. I still don't. I really need to get some glass containers. So this plate of tri-tip was just in my refrigerator for the past couple of days. And finally this morning, I said, enough's enough. I just threw away the whole plate. I'm like, I'll get some new plates. Forget it. Let's scrap that plate. But yeah. It was a great weekend. But right as we were getting back, me and my girlfriend, Maddie, drove separately. Right as we were getting back, we were on our way to her parents' place. Sure enough, on our way towards Ryrie, this truck in front of us kicks up a rock, phew, right towards my window, chips the window right in my line of vision. So now I had this spider web, size of a $1 piece crack in my window. And sure enough, I had to get it fixed this morning. I was a little late today because I had to drive right to Safe Light, get it filled in, and they filled it in, but it's still there, you know. You still see the legs of the crack. And so, yeah, that's there. So I'm contemplating just getting the whole windshield replaced just because it needs to happen. I'm not going to have this giant crack in my line of vision that's really annoying. I used to feel so, not dirty, I don't know what the word is for it, back when I would get a crack in my phone screen. I would want it replaced right away, like right then and there, and you have to wait a little bit. You know, you have to set up an appointment. Usually you have to get the screen protector, a new screen protector to replace the one that you shattered, and it's a whole annoying thing. It's a whole annoying thing to get anything replaced, really, but a car windshield especially, like, oh man, I'm not looking forward to driving around with this cracked windshield, you know. It would have been a fantastic weekend if it had not been for that, but I'm just glad the concert went smoothly. I'm glad the thing got filled in. I'm trying to look on the brighter side here. I'm glad that I'm here today, not from a car. I didn't get in a car accident. You know, it could have been a whole lot worse. And we'll continue this noon hour of madness and mayhem right here on K-Bear 101 in just a few. You know, when you're in the car for 3 hours and you have someone there with you the entire ride, you kind of have, you for the most part will have a good conversation, right? Me and my girlfriend were in the car driving from Salt Lake City back home, and well, I don't know how we came across this, but I think we started talking about country music and how I'm not the biggest country music fan. She loves country. I would rather listen to anything else besides most country. I really just don't care for the theme of the entire thing. I think it's quite dumb to sing with a very obvious Southern accent, but, you know, to teach their own. But I think we talked about Garth Brooks. We ended up on the subject of Garth Brooks. And then we started talking about how he's potentially a serial killer. That whole conspiracy theory, you know, allegedly he's a serial killer, you know. I don't know if it started with Tom Segura or if it started with somebody pointing out, hey, people go missing at every stop that he does on tour. Like, it coordinates kind of, what's it called? What am I looking for here? Like, any single time he announces a tour, at each stop, somebody goes missing, you know? Well, I'm looking at a book here on Amazon, Bodies in Low Places. A serious examination into the allegation, is Garth Brooks a serial killer? Bodies in Low Places. It's on sale for $23 paperback, $29 hardcover. There's a whole book about how potentially Garth Brooks is a serial killer. And what's even weirder is, like, are his videos on Facebook, I don't know, he's very creepy, in my opinion. And, you know, Tom Segura has had this thing going where people have commented on Garth Brooks' Instagram or his socials overall, basically asking, like, where are the bodies, Garth? Where are the bodies, G? And he ended up shadow banning Tom Segura from his Instagram. Like, Tom led a whole movement with it. It's a weird thing. Like, Garth won't just simply say, no, I'm not a serial killer. He just blocked Tom. And I don't know. I feel like if there's a whole book about how you're a serial killer, don't you think you would put out a video saying, hey, I've never done anything like this type of thing? Or would that make things worse? I don't know. But yeah, there's podcast episodes. I'm looking here, various podcast episodes, a book about how Garth Brooks is potentially a serial killer. What's even weirder is that any single person you meet, you ask them, what's the best concert? What's the biggest concert, best concert you've ever been to? They will say Garth Brooks, without a doubt. And I'm just thinking, how great can his show be? Really? Just a chubby dude with a guitar wearing a cowboy hat. And you're telling me this guy puts on one of the best shows you will ever see. Didn't he do like the Rice-Eccles Stadium a couple years ago, which holds 80,000 people? How can one dude entertain 80,000 people to the point where they say, this is the best concert I have ever been to? I don't know. I've never been to a Garth Brooks show. I don't really want to pay money to go to one either. I don't even want to go for free. I don't even care for country music. To sit down and watch Garth Brooks for 2+ hours. That's almost like a punishment to me. Even the concert on Saturday had 4 bands. That felt like it was too much. By the third opener, I was like, okay, I need to sit down. My legs are hurting. Anyways, the noon hour of madness and mayhem. I'm by myself today. Let's do some President Fearless on K-Bear 101. I forgot that the roller coaster Jetstar 2, that is at Lagoon in Salt Lake, officially retired last night. Some people got to ride it for the very last time. It was at a different theme park, I think, and then transferred over to Lagoon back in 1974. Yeah, originally built for the 1974 Expo in Spokane, Washington. It was moved to Lagoon in 1976. There we go. This was the 49th year of the classic ride, and some people, a part of the country station 93.3 The Bull in Utah country, they got to ride it. They were one of the last few to ride it before they retire it tonight. I should have one of the DJs on from 93.3 The Bull, Utah country on to talk about the whole Garth Brooks conspiracy theory that he's a serial killer. He is very creepy. Like some of those Facebook videos, I do find it funny that the podcast that Tom Segura has called Your Mom's House, they have a big time following. And I think one of their fans, or maybe even one of the producers of the podcast, have made edits of Garth Brooks talking creepily into the camera. Just his video, like he's done Facebook Lives. And you know when you have that like one weird uncle that says, hey, we're on the Facebook, instead of just Facebook, we're on the Facebook, man, we've made it. And I think they've really taken a deep dive into how he answers questions from interviews, and that Garth Brooks has cried almost like you could ask him a generic question. He'll just start tearing up for some reason. Like he's very emotional. It's very weird. I don't want to keep talking about Garth Brooks because what if all of a sudden I release this noon hour of Madness and Mayhem podcast episode? Garth Brooks gets tagged. His team sees my name pop up. Next thing you know, I'm missing. Magically, the Garth Brooks tour makes a stop in Boise, maybe even at the Mountain America Center, the Pocatello, the Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater. Makes a stop at one of those places. All of a sudden, I'm just gone. Peaches disappears. Victor has to hop on the air and say, he's a victim of the G of Garth Brooks. Maybe Victor would keep that silent because he doesn't want to disappear either. Friends in low places. Garth Brooks said it first, I do want to point out that that another show, a great show, is coming to Boise next year. I think November 14th. Yeah, November 14th. 3 Days Grace, I Prevail, and The Funeral Portrait are going to be at the Ford Idaho Center Arena. That's going to be awesome. I know that's a very far away tour. That might be the last show on our concert calendar at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar, because our calendar, I think the last show that we have on there could be potentially no, it can't be that one, because I was thinking about the 9 Inch Nails or Nothing More show, or Nothing More shows, I should say, but I think we have some that are way past it. I'm looking at, July 1st, Wolf Mother, the 20th anniversary of their debut album. There's that at the Union Event Center in Salt Lake City. So that's technically the last show on our concert calendar. riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. You can also find the shortcut to the concert calendar via the K-Bear 101 app. It's funny. Metallica Unforgiven, and, well, we were discussing it last week about how James Hetfield supposedly, allegedly, had a whole feud with Beyoncé. You know about that story. We talked about it on the Victor Wilt show on Friday. I found that hilarious that somebody thought of that idea, put it into ChatGPT, and then said, you know what, let me just post this on Facebook, pretend this is an official article from some sort of, fake news source. Is that still out there? James Hetfield, Beyoncé feud. Let's see what pops up when you Google that. If he attends, I will never go there, Beyoncé declared. Well, that's one of the top results. Beyoncé sparks heated debate at the Grammys. Oh, I see an Instagram post about it. It looks like one of those dumb, like just rage bait posts. Typical. Oh, I see a different video here because I typed in James Hetfield Beyoncé feud, and there's a whole 12-minute video that popped up that says, at 62, James Hetfield finally reveals the 6 bands he hated growing up. I wish it wasn't 11 minutes long. No, I can't. I don't want to take too much time here because we're about to wrap up the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem. Yeah, Victor pointed this out. Somebody posted this on November 6th, that Beyoncé declared that if James Hetfield and the rest of Metallica were going to be at the Grammys, Beyoncé would not attend. According to insiders, says here, Beyoncé allegedly believes Hetfield is neither deserving nor refined enough to attend such high-profile events, and even hinted that Hetfield's fans have no real understanding of modern sound. Oh my goodness, I love this fake article. And you see people in the comments, keep doing what you do, James. We love it. People are posting selfies of them at the Metallica concert. And then there are some people going, this is most likely fake. Yeah, no kidding.
The noon hour of Madness and Mayhem is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com.